Hello guys, let's play a little game. I want you to mention the names of the streets around the hotel roundabout, Lekki Phase 1, Opebi Allen Ikeja, and let's see, maybe some places in Surulere that you know. And I can bet you that I've been there at least once for an interview. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a first time, or if this is your first time of seeing my video, you're welcome. If you are a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Make sure to go through my the series of videos that I have. I have videos, I have podcasts that I'm sure you would learn one or two things from. Alright, in this video I want to tell you my story of how I transitioned from being an industrial chemist into tech. Now this was me in 2011, a fresh graduate from Opebi University, graduate of industrial chemistry, graduated with a 2-1, had a very strong GPA, CGPA of 4.0, I think 4.02 or something like that. And here was I, freshly graduated, finished serving my country, and like they say, I was eager and pumped up to go into the favor market. But little did I know that I was in for a roller coaster of ride, of interviews, going through all the stages of interview, getting to the last stage, and then nothing. And after series and series upon series of interviews, disappointment, tears, and all of that, 4 years later, I finally made my transition from being an industrial chemist to becoming a tech consultant. So in this video, let me tell you my story of how I made the transition from industrial chemistry into tech. Okay, so after my NYSC, of course, I did my NYSC in a school. I was teaching chemistry, basic science, and all of that. And then after my service, I came back to Lagos, fully expectant, fully pumped up. I've paid my dues, so the market should favor me, right? So I started going for interviews. I got my first job as a customer service executive, but that job wasn't what I wanted, right? So probably because it wasn't what I wanted, or it wasn't what I thought I deserved, because of course I paid my dues, so I didn't enjoy that job. So I left the job. And then, because while I was in school, I learned fashion designing, so I just left the job and went to focus on fashion designing, and then going for series upon series of interviews, attending online courses relating to chemistry, because of course I studied chemistry and I wanted to work with my certificate. I worked out for that grade, so I should work with it. So I would go for interviews, I would read GMATs, GMATs. In fact, there is a particular CBT test center in Ikeja. I'm sure that the security men in that CBT center, they should recognize me, because I went for series upon series of CBT tests in that particular interview, CBT test center. There's another one at Ilupeju area. I recall going for an ExxonMobil test in that place while I was heavily pregnant with my daughter. Maybe I will hear from them tomorrow whether I passed that test, whether I failed that test. I didn't even get any response from them, and that was how I continued. A lot of rejection. Then eventually I had my daughter in 2017. My husband works in tech, so in 2018 it was like, instead of wasting your time and upon all these series of interviews upon interview, why don't you try tech? I was like, tech, okay. Me, I can't code. He was like, I'm in tech too and I don't write codes. All right, my husband is a tech project manager. I was like, I'm in tech too and I don't write code. I think you can do this. So That was how he introduced me to a particular training center. So I went to train as an ERP systems consultant. All right, and that's what I currently do. That's the area of tech that I currently pursue. So I started my training. I was training as a Microsoft Dynamics Business Central functional consultant. So when I got there, of course, there were other trainees. So we started the training. I was training as a functional consultant. In another video, I would explain what it means to be a Dynamics 365 functional consultant. So, but the other trainees were training to be developers. So those ones were training to write codes. All right. So at a point, I picked up interest in writing codes. So I would attend some of their classes, but after a while, it just occurred to me that this wasn't what I wanted. I'm not sure I could, maybe later, but as at that time and as of today, coding was just not. And that's why I have a series of videos. I think I have 2 videos where I've talked about starting your career in tech without having to code. Okay, so if you go through my channel, you will see videos where you would see those videos I mentioned, or I will tag them to this video so that you can watch them. So I started my training. So after my training, luckily for me, the place where I trained, so we would have a series of presentations. We used to have tests and all of that. So after the training, I got retained in that organization, and that was how I started my career. I left that organization, went to another organization, all right, also as a functional consultant, Business Central functional consultant. Then left the second organization that I went to, and then now in this current organization where I am. So that was my journey. My journey into tech started because someone thought I could do it, and the person mentioned it to me, and then I started it afraid. So what's my point in this video? My point in this video is, don't keep beating a dead horse. If you are trying to follow a particular path, I think the reason why I spent about 4 years looking for a job was because I felt that I had invested my time. I had invested so much in coming out of school with a good grade. So why shouldn't I work with my good grade? Why can't I get it? Went for several tests, job interviews in oil companies, manufacturing companies, FMCGs, pharmaceutical companies, because I wanted to work with my certificate. All right, so but after 4 years of trying and there was no headway, I was lucky enough to get somebody that gave me a nudge, or that gave me a tap to say, enough is enough, pursue something else. All right, so this video today is, maybe it's a nudge for somebody too, that it's okay to make a switch. It's okay to look somewhere else. Okay, so maybe this video is God's way of telling you that you have tried. You have tried in that path that you are trying to follow. It's time for you to move on to something else. It's time for you to try something new. All right. So if you would like to start a career in tech and you need some hand holding, don't we all need hand holding? So if you need some hand holding, I'm here to do that for you. So just leave me a comment in the comment section and I will reach out to you. All right, I can be your guide. I can be that voice for you, just like someone else was for me, just like someone else was my guide on this path. I would be more than willing to be your guide on this path as well. So till I come your way again in another video, it's bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video so that someone else can also learn from the video. All right, thank you for watching.